Hello and welcome back to the channel where I provide regular cricket content on interesting topics. In today's video I take a walk down memory lane and run down my top 5 English Test innings of all time. I will be doing all the major Test nations, so please comment away what innings for other countries you think must be included. But today it is England's list, so let's get started. Number 5, Kevin Pietersen, 2012. Kevin Pietersen's 186 against India in Mumbai in 2012-13 was arguably his finest moment in Test cricket. On a turning pitch that provided ample assistance to the spinners, Pietersen produced an innings that only he could have played. He dismantled India's spin attack with a range of strokes which included orthodox and reverse sweeps, slog sweeps and dazzling drives. His innings was instrumental in securing England's first series win in India in more than a generation, and was a testament to his immense skill and match-winning ability. Although Pietersen had played some notable innings earlier in his career, including the 158 at the Oval that announced his arrival on the international stage, his 186 in Mumbai was his true peak. Number 4, Graham Gooch, 1991. Graham Gooch's 154 not out against West Indies at Headingley in 1991 is widely regarded as one of the greatest innings in the history of Test cricket. While some argue that the score itself may not reflect its significance, as it came out of a total of 252 on a challenging pitch against a formidable attack comprising Ambrose, Walsh, Pietersen, and Marshall, the manner in which Gooch batted was nothing short of masterful. Despite wickets falling at the other end, Gooch pulled and drove with a boldness and confidence that belied the difficult conditions. Although he had a few close calls, such as an uppish drive that just evaded the fielder at cover, his innings was a remarkable display of composure under pressure. Number 3, Michael Atherton, 1995. Michael Atherton's 185 against South Africa in Johannesburg in 1995 is widely regarded as one of the most gutsy innings played by an Englishman in Test cricket. Batting against an attack that included the likes of Alan Donald and Brian McMillan, Atherton defied the odds and the hostile conditions to produce an innings of immense courage and skill. The pitch was a fast bowler's paradise, with pace, bounce, and movement on offer from the very first ball. But Atherton was equal to the challenge, using his impeccable technique and unyielding determination to grind out a score that would have been beyond most other batsmen. Unlike most of the others in this list, Atherton's innings was a rearguard effort to save a Test match. It was a marathon innings that spanned more than 643 minutes, or more than 10.5 hours, and 492 balls. It was a crucial innings in a high-pressure situation, with England coming into the match having lost the first Test of the series and needing a strong performance to stay in the series. Number 2, Ian Botham, 1981. Ian Botham's 149 not out against Australia at Headingley in 1981 is an innings that still sparks debate, even after nearly 3 decades. While some hail it as the ultimate demonstration of his genius, a triumph that snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, and turned an Ashes series on its head, others dismiss it as a chaotic slog fest, devoid of the elegance and finesse associated with a great innings. Admittedly, Botham's innings was not without its share of luck and unorthodox strokes, but that was precisely the charm of it. In a run of poor form and after relinquishing the captaincy, Botham showed remarkable courage and resilience to dismantle the Australian bowling attack and defy the odds. He was not just playing for victory, but also to prove a point, that he was still a force to be reckoned with. And in doing so, he rewrote the very rules of risk-taking, turning conventional wisdom on its head. Whether you see it as a brash and boisterous innings or a masterpiece of improvisation and tenacity, there is no denying that Botham's 149 at Headingley was a truly unforgettable performance, one that will continue to captivate cricket fans for years to come. Number 1, Ben Stokes, 2019. Ben Stokes' innings at Edgbaston in 2019 is widely regarded as one of the greatest innings in the history of Test cricket. In the third Ashes Test against Australia, England looked dead in the water at various points. None more so than when needing 73 runs to win with just 1 wicket remaining. But Stokes had other ideas. What followed was an extraordinary display of skill, grit, and determination. Stokes went on the attack, taking the fight to the Australian bowlers with a flurry of boundaries and audacious strokes. He partnered with Jack Leach, who offered stoic resistance at the other end, but the hitting was all Stokes, who was playing with an intensity and purpose seldom seen on a cricket field. For me, it was the different gears he showed in that innings which ranks it as number 1. From having 2 runs off his first 66 balls, his last 64 runs came off just 34 balls and contained some of the most audacious, brilliant shot-making ever seen on an English cricket ground. It had everything but the pressure of having a nation's hopes on his shoulders, and pulling it off will forever hold Stokes as king on these shores. So for those reasons, Ben Stokes's knock is the greatest English innings of all time for me. So there you have it, that is my list for England. I suppose the one which could have made the list was Kevin Pietersen against Australia at the Oval in 2005. For me, though as good as that innings, it wasn't as good as his 100 in Mumbai, and generally speaking I prefer performances to win games as opposed to draw them. Obviously Atherton's effort was to save the game, but that was an exception. Please let me know if I have forgotten a gem, and don't forget to comment with your innings for other nations. Thanks for watching, fellow cricket fans.